Okay, I think this is Jalen and Carson. This is your final project. It is 10 pages long, but I am only giving you the first 2 pages because I don't want to give you it all at once. We're going to talk through the first 2 pages, and then I'm going to let you do your own thing, okay? This is the data that you are basing all of your information on. Luke, sit. Data that you are basing all of your information on, okay? All right, these are all of the people in Blue Hill. How many Blue Hill students do we have? In here. You don't know this?
13.
13. There are 13 of you in here, okay? So anytime it asks for that. All right, the first page is based on chapter 1. This is all classifying data. So we had 2 subgroups of data. We had categorical data and quantitative data. Somebody give me some information. What's categorical data versus quantitative?
If there's a number of features for you,
Okay, categorical is categories. Categories. Quantitative number is like numbers that you can calculate with. So if it makes sense to like find the average or the standard deviation, that is all going to be quantitative data. The majority of the stuff that we did after chapter 1 was with quantitative data, just because like we can't find confidence intervals. We can't do hypothesis testing unless we have some calculations, standard deviations, means, all that stuff. So the majority of it was quantitative data. Now, are categories ever numbers?
yes.
Sometimes they can be numbers, like class period and that type of thing. Those are categories, okay? All right, as far as nominal, ordinal, interval ratio, let's do some examples. I don't have my punch card. I need a new one. Can I come get you later?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, darling. I ran out of my punches, so I will come get a new punch card in a little bit. Thank you. Okay, nominal, ordinal. What's the difference between nominal and ordinal for categories?
Nominal is like 4th period, like numerical.
But that's ordinal. It's class periods. Class periods. Or I'm going to say ranking of NFL teams. I don't know. Those are all ordinal. What would be some nominal?
Like random alphabetical order.
Things that has an order.
That has an order?
The nominal doesn't have an order.
Oh.
Give me examples of categories that don't have order.
Color of eye.
Eye color.
Types of sheep in the past.
When I see nominal, I think of the word name, right? These are just names of things like eye color. Shoe size would probably be more ordinal than it would be nominal because there is an order to shoe size. Eye color, hair color, political affiliation, even though some are better than others, but whatever, like nominal would be, what?
You allowed to say that?
Sure, but you don't know what political affiliation I
More
am.
report cards.
Okay, so I don't know. A political affiliation is too long to write down for nominal. What are some other examples?
Breeds of sheep in the pasture of grass.
Race.
What? Race. Race of sheep in a pasture. Is that even?
Breeds of sheep.
Oh, breeds. I thought you said race of sheep in a pasture. Oh, whatever. Race, breed, breed type, whatever. Okay, those are all nominal. Okay, interval ratio. These are calculated numbers like data stuff. What's the difference between interval ratio?
Ratio is like 1 to 3.
Ratio. Here's the way that I look at it. Here is what ratio looks like. Interval looks like this. Do you remember this when I taught you it the first time? Ratio has a 0 value. Interval does not. So give me some examples of each one.
Percent on a test.
What? Percent on a test would be?
Ratio.
Ratio. Percent. Distance would be ratio because you cannot go in negative distance, right? Okay, what about interval?
Kid who got a negative
But-
10% on the test because he
You can
got
go
everything
negative.
wrong.
Change in something.
Total distance.
What?
Change in something.
There was like a negative
Change in
5,
something?
wasn't
Change in temperature.
Wait, you want to shoot?
Yeah, change or temperature just in general.
there? You got a 0, but
Temp or change in temp. You could go up or down, right? Is interval, so you can go left or right in that case, okay? So quantitative versus categorical. So what you are going to do for number 1 is for each one of these, you are going to write what they are. So let's do height together. Is height categorical or quantitative?
Quantitative.
Quantitative. So I'm going to put a Q next to it. Is it
Ratio.
interval or ratio?
Ratio.
It is ratio because you cannot have negative height. So you're going to do that for each one.
Same
It's gonna have a C or a Q, and then it's gonna have an NOIR next to it, right? So I'll have two letters. I don't care if you want to abbreviate. If you want to write the word out, I don't care. But that's all you are required to do for number 1. Questions about that? Can I move on to the next
What about
section?
Pulse rate. I don't know anything about pulses. Explain.
Here's the data for pulse rate. Is this data nominal, ordinal, or is that data quantitative or categorical?
Can that be negative?
No.
Okay.
Can you have a negative pulse?
I don't know.
No, you cannot have you don't know what a pulse is, child? How many times your heart beats per minute? Can I have a negative number of heartbeats per minute? You're being silly. All right.
What would you
Right.
give them birth month?
Go back up. What about like favorite color? Could that be like ordinal?
I put C in.
Can you rank the favorite colors in order from best to worst?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I could, but it wouldn't be the same as yours, so no.
What about birth month and
Birth
birthday?
month and birthday. I would say
Because, like-
those are ordinal.
Yeah. Or are they?
Because like January through December.
Yeah.
I would say, probably, yes.
Exact age. You could be negative years old. Let's be honest. That can be a thing, right? Because you're not.
Okay, explain to me what you put for birth month.
CO.
CO.
You put CO. Okay, great. Exact age. Did you put C or Q?
Q.
Q. And then is it interval or ratio?
Oh.
But I would argue interval because like you could be not born but still be alive.
But that's not your birth.
But you can't give data to that because we don't know how long you've been cooked. You know?
You can figure it out.
You can figure it out.
It says birth.
Because we don't, if you have not been born yet, we don't know where 0 lives.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
Go from when you were birthed.
CN
Yeah.
for favorite color.
Okay, sure,
Birthday?
sure. Okay,
Birthday.
frequency distributions. Are we ready for that now? Okay, here is an example of a frequency distribution. You are going to create one with pulse rate data, and I tell you exactly what to do. So here is an example of a frequency distribution. I'm going to ask you for the lower class limits. Which numbers in this frequency distribution are lower class limits? What are they? 50 and 60. They're only asking for the lower number. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, right? What are the upper class limits? 59, 69. Put this at the top, so that, or like in this box, so you can remember what's what, okay? 79, 89, 99. Okay, what's the class width? How wide are they?
10.
Are they 9 wide or 10 wide?
10.
You go from lower to lower or upper to upper. You don't go the distance here. True? Do you remember that being a thing?
Yeah.
Class width is 10. What are the class midpoints?
55 or 54.5.
54.5. How do you find that?
Yes.
Halfway between 50 and 59. So you can add them together and divide by 2. That's fine. What was class boundary?
Oh.
Yeah, do you have to do all of them? If you just
59.5 to.
These ones don't have all of them.
okay.
Well, I guess, okay, class midpoint.
Midpoints?
Class midpoint should have all of them. But you can just put dot, dot, dot. Like do maybe 2 and then you can put dot, dot, dot. So what would be the second one? 64.5? Sure, dot, dot, dot. Okay. Class boundary. You remember what class boundary was?
59.5.
Yeah, it's like, what if I was 59.2? Where would that go? What if I was 59.9? Where would that go? So what's the cutoff mark in between the classes?
59.5.
59.5. That tells you where you round, right? 59.5. What's the second one?
69.5.
69.5. And so on and so forth, right? Those are my class boundaries. Got it? Okay. All right. Pulse rate. Oh, I don't know if you should necessarily have 8 classes. I need to look at that. I switched this, but I don't know. How many classes should you have if you start at 50? You're starting at 50 and you're going a class width of 5. So,
43.
what would your ending limit be on the first class?
Now it's now 43.
54. Then it starts at 55 to 59, right? Okay. And you're doing that. I don't know if you should necessarily have 8 classes. Does somebody know that already?
There's 9.
9 classes? You should have 9 classes.
Oh, we're doing
Sorry, that's wrong.
55.
Okay, if you look at your class data. Okay. Frequency. What is frequency, by the way? If you're looking back at this table.
How often happens?
Frequency, like how many people are in that category? How do you do cumulative frequency? You add them each time, right? Relative frequency, would be this guy divided by, in your case, it would be 13 because there's 13 people, right? Okay, so you do that for each one, fill in that table, there you go, and then answer the questions on number 3. Should I give you time to do that?
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
I don't know who thinks they have to have a high heart rate, but they need to stop.
Nice.
I don't know, who is the,
How fast my heart beats.
Just stop. Just stop.
Just stop.
Haley, yeah.
My bad, Kyle.
Yeah, it is your
You
game.
should have been more considerate, Haley.
Yeah, how dare you?
You knew we were gonna do this.
Literally since you.
Okay,
Spewing our data.
you might have to, like, fill in your table really, really small because, you know,
Yeah, you don't say.
sorry, I didn't give a whole lot of room.
Use the 50 to 54.
Did you get rid of it?
You don't need 50 to 54? Oh, really? Oh, you don't? I don't know. Whatever. So if you want to do 8 classes, but would there be 8 classes if you start at 55? I don't know.
You're gonna make me.
Too late. Whatever. It's fine. Whoop.
This is too tiny.
I don't know. Okay, you finish your table. Answer your questions. Then we'll go on to the back page. There are 10 pages. We will get through all 10 pages, which means we have to do 2 pages a day, which means you guys got to be on top of it and not let this slide because each page I'm adding more days or adding each day I'm adding 2 more pages. So if you don't have one done from one to the next, you're going to have 3 pages to do one day and then 5 pages to do the next day. So you got to stay up on top of it. Also, if you have not turned in any of your 9-1, 9-2, there's 2 assignments for 9-1. So 9-1A, 9-1B, 9-2, or 9-3. Or your John Baylor project. Those need to be turned in as well.
If I had my calculator, I would do relative frequencies.
Use your phone.
I don't have my phone either.
Where is that?
It's hiding up there in the front.
I wonder where it went.
I don't know. I didn't. Oh, they're humming you. Here, let me move my things for you.
Oh, nice.
Do your stuff.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Like a nice pancake.
What are you looking at?
And you fed your calculator.
Oh, that means.
Fancy.
Hey! Back!
Fancy. He wasn't using it anyway. Give him his pencil back. So he can
No,
start
I'm not
using
gonna do it.
He can get it himself.
You're such a stinker face.
What time do we got out of here?
What?
What time do we get out of here?
I don't know. 48.
Dang it.
You got lots of time left. You got 15 minutes left. Shall we start on the next page? This one's going to be the one that takes you a little while.
No, we're
Girl,
not.
hang on, I'm not done with the first one. You need to chill
I'm
out.
not even, we're not even on number 3.
Yeah, we'll skip.
Guys, if you just go really slow, do you think she'll make it through like
I will make you do all of it, and I will not sign you out until you're done.
Don't be difficult. Just
the burrito chart?
For sure. 100%.
How do you do stem and leaf? That's good. Intervals of 5.
What?
How do you do stem and leaf? Intervals of 5.
Really? Just going for the relative frequency.
It won't. Are you on number 5?
Yeah.
It won't be in intervals of 5. It'll be like for your 7-leaf plot, you'll start at 50, and I think the first number is 55, right? I think you have 2 55s. So your 7-leaf plot won't be based on your histogram. It'll just be based on like the raw data.
Okay.
So like you'll have like 55, 55, so 55, 55,
That makes
then you'll have
sense.
56. Yep. Good question. Okay, can we go to the back?
When you say
Yeah.
proportion,
Okay, we'll talk through the back.
percent.
What?
When you say proportion, do you mean percent? On number 2.
I don't care. Either one.
So I can just put 1. 'Cause there's one.
Is it? You would have to put 1 over 13 or that percentage.
Alright.
Because 1 would be 100%, and that's not what you mean, right? Okay. Okay, let's talk backside real quick. Even if you're not on there, skip to the back. We'll go back to it. By the way, you will find that through this packet, anytime there is a box, that is to aid you to remember what that chapter was about. So this is all chapter 1. I think this is all chapter 1 also. No, this is chapter 2. Chapter 2, frequency distributions and graphing data. So this is what a histogram, a box plot, a pie chart, a stem and leaf plot, and a Pareto chart look like. Let's talk histogram. Things about a histogram. This is based on your frequency table. You will build a histogram that is based on the frequency table that you guys just got done building, okay? Your bars will be together, okay? If you want to just use like the left endpoint of each one to like label your bottom, that's fine. So like here would be 50, and here would be 55, and here would be 60, and here would be 65, right? Like for your pulse rates, that's fine. Then you wouldn't have to label like 50 through 54 and 55 through 59, right? Like it would save a little bit of time, okay? So there's your chart. Your frequency always goes on the left side. And then this is how many people are in that category. So I don't know which category has the most, maybe like 5 at the most. I don't know. You would only need to go that high for your frequency table or for your histogram, okay? Do you know what a box plot is? Yeah? Yeah? Self-explanatory. Some people do X's instead of dots. I don't care. So a box plot or a dot plot is what they will call it. Okay? Label out your stuff. Make sure you're doing labels. I will count off for those. I'll count off 1 point for not putting a chart title. And I think I like
title?
threaten. Yes. I'm for sure. You should be able to look at this chart and each chart that you have, not look at the question and be able to tell me exactly what that chart is about. Okay, so make sure you include your chart titles, any X and Y axis labels. I will take off 1 point for each thing that is missing. You need to listen.
Yep, I'm listening.
Okay,
You'll
your
take
pie
off the
chart. Okay, those slices of pie need to be appropriately labeled. And please add to your pie chart the percentage. So like if this is 100 and this is like 48% have jet skis. Sailboats would be like 2%. Inboard would be like 7%. I have no idea. 12%. Whatever each one of these is. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Right? Please add your percentages in there and how appropriately those are sliced. Okay? The pie chart that you have to do, I think, is on like eye color maybe or something. Or favorite color. I don't remember which one it was. But this is for categorical data. Right?
That has to be less than 48.
I don't know.
That's what I was saying.
What are you talking about? This guy?
Yeah, that has to be less than 38.
Why?
48. If that's true, then you should be able to make a straight line out of that, my boy.
What you talking about? Oh, yeah, true.
It has to be like 46.
Or maybe that's 1%. And then here's the other percent. Other 1%, right? You ever think of that? Whatever. Okay. Stem and leaf plot. Do you know what a stem and leaf plot is?
Yeah.
This would be like the number 40. Then I have the number 42, right? How many 50s do I have? 2. I have a 50 and a 50, right? Like that's how that works. Okay? Stem and leaf plot. Got it? Pareto chart. What's the most significant piece of information about a Pareto chart?
Order.
The order. You go from highest to lowest. And the bars do not touch. Why do the bars not touch?
Because they're not correlated.
These are
Categorical.
categories, not intervals of quantitative data that touch each other, right? Okay? All right, so this is going to take you some time. These 5 charts that you have to create is going to take you some time. I am giving you just those 2 front and back to do today, and then tomorrow we'll start on the next section, which is chapter 3 stuff.
For our
Okay.
histogram, do we go like 50 to 55? And then,
For your histogram?
If you want, do you want us to start at 0, the one that has 0?
No.
Just skip.
Oh, if you want to, I don't care. You can start at 50 if you want to, or if 55 is the
okay, but
whatever.
Do we do like our interval, or do we just do 55?
So you can choose. You can either start and go 50 and 55 and 60, or you can go 50 to 54 and label the innermost. You can go 55 to 59 and label the inside. I don't care how you label it.
I don't know who it is, but you're gonna die.
Ah, thank goodness.
Okay, like you could do either or. Here are your options. You can, I'm gonna do one of those, and I'm gonna say 50 is here, and 55 is here, and 60 is here, and I can do my little tower things, whatever, right? Or I'm gonna label my chart and go 50 to 54, 55 to 59. I don't care which one you do, 60 to 64. Do you see how that works? Okay? I am not going to be picky about that because either one of those I can see what you're trying to say. Yeah? Good? But be sure to label your X and Y, anything that's in bold. Make sure. Label your graph. Label your graph. I should be able to look on that and see exactly what it is we're talking about. Get working.
I don't have my pencil.
Then go back and get it. Come on. All right, I'm going to stop recording for Carson and Jalen.